the criminal organization more powerful than the Mafia for decades. The Mafia has been the gold standard when people think of organized crime. Its mystique fueled by Hollywood, crime documentaries, and tales of powerful dons controlling entire cities from the shadows. But what if I told you that there exists a criminal organization even more powerful, more ruthless, and more deeply embedded in global affairs than the Mafia? This organization doesn't just control neighborhoods, it influences entire governments, economies, and societies. It operates with terrifying efficiency, making billions of dollars while remaining largely in the shadows. Welcome to the world of the Sinaloa cartel, the criminal empire that outshines even the legendary Mafia in influence and power. The origins of a global giant, the Sinaloa cartel, emerged from the lawless, mountainous terrain of Sinaloa, Mexico, a region notorious for producing some of the world's most infamous drug lords. Founded in the late 1980s, the cartel quickly became a dominant force in the international drug trade. Unlike the Mafia, which relies heavily on strict hierarchies and long-established traditions, the Sinaloa cartel was built on innovation, adaptability, and brutal efficiency. At the heart of its rise was Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the infamous drug lord who orchestrated the cartel's expansion into a multi-billion-dollar criminal empire. Unlike the Mafia, which typically operates within certain territories, the Sinaloa cartel operates globally, moving drugs across borders and securing routes that even the most powerful governments struggle to control. Bigger than the Mafia, the Sinaloa cartel's reach. The Mafia is primarily rooted in Italy and the United States, dealing in extortion, racketeering, and illicit businesses. But the Sinaloa cartel, their operations span 6 continents. They have direct partnerships with criminal networks in Asia, Europe, Africa, and even Australia. Their main product, high-quality cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and fentanyl, fuels drug epidemics across the world, making them far more dangerous than traditional Mafia families. While the Mafia thrives on organized crime within cities, the Sinaloa cartel controls entire supply chains, from coca plantations in Colombia to the streets of Los Angeles, from underground labs in Mexico to traffickers in China. Their methods of smuggling drugs are astonishingly sophisticated, using submarines, tunnels, drones, and corrupt government officials to keep their operations running smoothly. Brutality beyond comparison. The Mafia has long been known for its ruthless enforcement, hitmen, contract killings, and violent messages sent to those who dare betray the family. But compared to the Sinaloa cartel, Mafia brutality looks tame. The Sinaloa cartel employs unimaginable levels of violence to enforce loyalty and eliminate threats. Beheadings, public executions, dissolving enemies in acid, these are just some of the terror tactics they use. One of their most feared enforcers, El Mayo Zambada, has been operating in the cartel since its early days and remains one of the most elusive figures in organized crime. Unlike Mafia bosses, who often face prison time or assassination, El Mayo has evaded capture for decades, proving how untouchable the cartel's leadership can be. Infiltrating governments and law enforcement. While Mafia families certainly have their fair share of corrupt officials in their pockets, the Sinaloa cartel takes government infiltration to an entirely different level. It has successfully bribed high-ranking politicians, law enforcement officials, and military officers, ensuring that its operations continue uninterrupted. The cartel doesn't just buy influence, it owns politicians, police chiefs, and even members of federal agencies. One of the most shocking examples of this was the trial of El Chapo, where evidence emerged that former Mexican presidents had accepted bribes from the cartel. The corruption ran so deep that Mexico's former Secretary of Public Security, General Garcia Luna, was arrested for working with the cartel while supposedly fighting against them. The Mafia has historically influenced local governments, but the Sinaloa cartel has bought its way into entire national institutions. A business empire unlike any other. The Mafia makes money through illicit gambling, loan sharking, extortion, and drug trafficking. But the Sinaloa cartel operates like a multinational corporation, diversifying its income streams beyond drugs, human trafficking, smuggling migrants across borders, charging thousands of dollars per person, illegal arms trade, supplying weapons to criminal organizations and warlords across the globe, gold and fuel smuggling, laundering money through precious metals and petroleum markets, fake pharmaceuticals, manufacturing counterfeit pills, some of which are laced with fentanyl, contributing to overdose epidemics worldwide. While the Mafia relies on decades-old traditions of secrecy and loyalty, that the Sinaloa cartel operates with modern corporate efficiency, investing in tech, logistics, and even encrypted communications to stay ahead of authorities. The downfall of the Mafia. The rise of the cartel to Mafia's power has declined significantly over the years due to relentless crackdowns by the FBI and Italian authorities. Many of its top bosses have been arrested, and their influence has weakened. The strict codes of silence, like the infamous omit, have eroded over time, as more members turn informants in exchange for leniency. Meanwhile, the Sinaloa cartel has adapted and thrived under pressure. Even with the arrest of El Chapo, the cartel continues to function without disruption, led by a network of high-ranking leaders who maintain their operations despite law enforcement efforts. Where the Mafia is fractured and fading, the Sinaloa cartel remains stronger than ever, evolving and expanding in ways that make it one of the most resilient criminal organizations in history. The true power of the Sinaloa cartel. What makes the Sinaloa cartel more powerful than the Mafia isn't just its wealth, violence, or reach, it's its ability to control entire regions, governments, and markets. Its dominance in the drug trade has created a shadow economy, where billions of dollars flow through legitimate businesses, banks, and political campaigns. Despite crackdowns, the cartel continues to grow, adapt, and outsmart the authorities, proving that organized crime has reached a new level, one where the lines between government, law enforcement, and criminal enterprises are increasingly blurred. The future of organized crime mafia, with all its power and legacy, no longer holds the same grip over society that it once did. The Sinaloa cartel, on the other hand, has redefined what it means to be a criminal organization in the modern world. It's not just more powerful than the Mafia, it's more powerful than some entire countries. With global influence, limitless resources, and an unmatched ability to corrupt and infiltrate institutions, the Sinaloa cartel isn't just a criminal empire, it's a parallel power structure, one that continues to shape economies, politics, and societies in ways that few truly understand. And that is why the Sinaloa cartel is the most powerful criminal organization in the world, far beyond what the Mafia ever was.